Okay, so this shows orange profile, what's already machined from the previous operation. If we change the orientation of the part. So now we're machining the opposite side. We have an accurate representation of the stock that's left, and we're going to machine off. Okay. So the facing operation doesn't change. The turning profile we do want to change. Okay, so we're going to edit this, and it's going to work differently. So we're going to start off with our tools fine. Our geometry, we need different containment edges. So we're containing between this edge and the opposite edge. So what we want to do is we need to delete edge 1 that's selected in here, and then select the opposite end of the part. Okay, so this gives us our zone we're going to do our machining within. Okay, then we go to our heights, and they should be pretty much the same. Roughing passes, again we want wear compensation, and retracts we'll leave alone. Okay, so it looks pretty good. We're going to start here. It'll clean up this face. If we have any inaccuracy in depth, you're going to see a little step here. Cuts the chamfer, cuts this off, and we now have the fillet here. Now we're going to go to the single groove. We're going to regenerate that because we need to change the references. So we've got a grooving tool, our geometry, bottom, and we're still referencing the front of the tool and the tip. Okay, we're going to the next step, and our face selection is going to be here instead. Everything else stays the same, just like we did on the other side. We'll leave this all at default. We'll leave this at default. So we get a turning groove. It comes in and just cleans up the corner. So let's take a look at what we've done so far. We're going to go to a stock simulation, and it's not going to simulate the stock as if it's already milled, but and that's a whole lot of gouging. Okay, so the facing operation we actually don't need. We're going to get rid of the turn face. And then we have our turn profile. We have our single groove. And now we need regenerator threading because that's not where we want it. We're going to edit the thread, and we're going to go to the very first tab. Everything's good. On here, our thread is not on that face. So I'm going to delete that face, and we're going to select the face on the opposite end of the part. We should be able to leave all these parameters the same. Now we go to the diameters, and these diameters are the same, but just to be thorough, I'm going to select the same diameter we had. Settings here should be all the same, and the settings here should be all the same. We'll accept that thread. And then we don't need to part the material off, so we can delete that routine. Okay, so now we have our second program. So we're seeing the operation from both sides. Okay, as if it was rotated in the part, rotated in the chuck, and you did the subsequent sides. Now I'm getting some collision detections on the threading. I'm not so sure it's really there, but there may be a chance that we got a little bit of a collision with a with an insert on the threading with the base, but from the toolpath generation, I'm not seeing it. It's pulling straight back out. So it may be seeing that it's going to rub right up against this wall with the parameters we have in there. If we back it off just slightly, it might solve that. And it looks like the insert should be able to handle rubbing up against this wall here. Okay. All right, so what do we do next? Okay, so what we want to do is we want to show each respective setup sheet as if it's set up in the machine. Okay, so here we want to orientate for op 1. We want to have it looking like it's in the machine. So the red arrow should be facing away from the viewer, and the blue arrow should be pointing to the right. This might take a little finagling, but we want it to look as if it's in the chuck of the machine, okay? And the operator standing looking from the left. And that way on the setup sheet, that'll make some sort of sense. Okay, so we're going to go to our setup sheet and go ahead and open it, its default location. And this gives us the image we're going to see in the setup sheet. And then we have our list of tools, and it's clear that this is for operation 1 on the lathe, okay? And that there's more than one op because we didn't put machine complete on here. And the program number associated with that is 1371, okay? So it's the first operation. Here are the 4 tools the program uses, and then here's the tools in by operation, or 5 different operations that are used. Okay, you want to save that off. Then you're going to go and highlight the other one, and you want to orientate that setup as it looks in the machine. So you got to flip it around, and you want it clear that we're just putting this little tiny part in the lathe at this point. It's been parted off from the big bar. Okay, then you're going to go to setup sheet and accept its location, and you notice this is for 137.2, which is the second program, and it's op 2, and the image makes sense. Okay, and so we have our 3 tools we use with the 3 operations. Okay, so it's omitting the any tools that were not in that particular program. Okay, so we have to set up the tools in the magazine in turret 3, position 4 and 8. Okay, so you're gonna print those as PDF, and you're gonna upload those in your Canvas assignment. Then when you're done with that, you're going to post-process each one of them. So you have to highlight the title of the job, or you're going to post-process just one segment. So I'm going to be looking to see that you have the correct number of sequences. So you're going to go post-process. It's 137.1. Make sure you put it in a location you can find. We're outputting it for turning, and we're going to use the default, which is Fanuc. Okay, and you go ahead and post-process it, and you should have your code. Okay, so again, you're going to upload in Canvas a minimum of 4 files for this assignment. So you got 2 setup sheets and the corresponding code files. All right, hope this was a good one, and I'll catch you on the next one.